Hey everybody, me again. You know the deal. Yeah. So let's just get into it. First announcement, course evaluation forms are live. Please fill them out. Course evaluation, student response, whatever they happen to call them. Please do fill those out. I mentioned this last week, but sincerely, I do really care about these responses, so please do fill them out honestly. They are anonymous, so you can talk trash about me if you want, but don't. But please do fill them out. I think they're open until the last day of classes. But please do fill them out. I appreciate them. Your other instructors appreciate them, so do the right thing. Also, homework is due today by 5 p.m. You know what that is, the transcription, the harmonic transcription. If you have any questions, shoot me an email before 5 p.m. But yeah, that is due today. And finally, a reminder, I will be on campus on the 28th. That is a week from this upcoming Wednesday. By this upcoming Wednesday, I mean tomorrow. So yeah, next Wednesday I will be on campus. More information about where that will be specifically later. But if you want to talk about your grade, about this class, about Razzle, about whatever, I will be on campus in person so we can discuss whatever in a socially distanced manner. That's it. So today, this video, we're going to be doing some more major transcription exercises. We're actually going to get into some minor transcription as well. But I want to start by going over the quiz from last week. So let's take a look at that. So, as you hopefully remember, this was the quiz from last week. Key of C major, of course, looking at a one chord right at the onset, and you are set to transcribe the following 6 chords. So, this is what y'all heard. Sorry about that bass note there. That, again, was the last chord, except if I play it and don't screw up. This is the answer. This is what y'all heard transcribed as Roman numeral harmonies. So, we're in the key of C, so we could hear a Do, a T, or a Re in any of these chords. So, of course, we have a tonic chord. It sounds very complete. Plus, I told you to start with a 1 chord, so hopefully you did not screw that up. So we're starting with a 1 chord right there. Then we move to a 4 chord. You can still hear that Do in there, but it's of a major quality. But clearly it's not tonic. And then we went to our 6 chord, where I could still hear Do, but it's of the minor quality, something a little bit darker. And then we move back to a brighter tonic harmony with Do right there. And then we went to yet another Do chord. We're at the subdominant, that's what it's called right here. Moving to that 4 chord, we hear the Do, Fa, La. Beautiful. So there's our 4 chord right there before we went to a T chord right there with the B. As you can see in that, in the 5 chord right there for our dominant before returning back to a Do chord known as 1. So that is the answer to the quiz from last week. Sorry, I'm in a caffeinated mood this evening. So there are a couple other examples I would like to look at with major transcription. So let's check them out. Okay, so here is your first practice example. Key of A flat major, same basic format. We're starting off with our 1 chord right here. So there's our sense of Do, or there's our sense of Do. It's a little bit easier on my voice at this point. So we're gonna really listen for that sense of Do amongst all these chords, starting with tonic right there. So there's our 1 chord followed by the subsequent 6 chords. Take a second, pause the video, get that set up. Okay, I'll give you 3 listens through with this. 3 examples, that's what I'm trying to say. Feel free to rewind it as many times as need be for the practice, but here come the 3 listenings. Ready? And... Ready? And. Ready? And. Okay, so we just heard this. So, again, here's our sense of do, here's our tonic, and the chords in sequential order. Of course, we have our tonic chord, so of course this is 1, and therefore a do chord. And then we move on to the 4 chord, where we can still hear do, even though I'm not necessarily singing perfectly in tune, but you're used to that by now. But it's another do chord with that tonic in it, that do, and then we move to a 3 chord with T right there. It's of a minor quality, but it doesn't sound diminished, so we know it's our 3 chord, and then we go back to a do chord. You can hear tonic right here in the 6 chord right here before moving up to a re chord perfectly played on the keyboard. You can hear the re right there, so we know it's a 2 chord because that's our only re chord for the time being before we go to a T chord right there, which of the major quality, giving us a dominant 5 chord before we resolve, of course, back to do, a 1 chord, tonic, A flat major. You know the deal. I hope that was fun. Let's look at our next example, key of G major right here. Same process. Starting with our tonic chord, which let me play that on the keyboard perfectly, and it sounds like. There we go. So there's our do, our sense of tonic for this 1 chord in the key of G major. You know what to do. Pause the video, set this up, and I'll give you 3 hearings of this example. And. 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 Okay, so what happened there? Again, feel free to rewind and listen to that example as many times as you need, but this is what we had. So again, So we're in the key of G major, and of course we're starting with a 1 chord, a Do chord, a female deer chord. So there's 1, and then this happens pretty frequently in these examples, but we're going to a 4 chord, which still has Do in there, so no shocker, no surprises before staying with the 1 chord, going back to Do, and then we went to a Re right up there. That's easier for my voice. Our 2 chord, the only Re chord we have at the moment, before going to a 4 chord, another chord involving Do right there. Then we went up to a T chord, the dominant, the 5, which you can hear wanting to resolve, but this time we went up to the minor chord, the minor 6 chord, which still has Do, but it's 6, so it's minor, also known as a deceptive cadence. Let me do it one more time, because I can. And so we're starting with the Do chord 1, because that's what we usually do. Moving to the 4 chord, another harmony involving Do. Back to the 1 chord, again involving Do, shocker. And then up to a Re chord, our 2 chord with the Re in it, like I just said. Back to the 4 chord, another harmony involving Do, then the dominant, hope you can hear that dominant pull with the T in it before going to the deceptive cadence 6, still involving 1. So that was awesome, right? Of course it was. Damn right it was. All right, so that's a lot of major. We're of course not done with it. We're gonna do quite a bit of this. There might even be a quiz this upcoming Thursday with my major key transcriptions, but I do want to start talking about minor key transcriptions. So let's look at that. For our purposes with minor transcription, we're going to need to review the harmonic minor scale. This is going to be crucial for our purposes for this material. So what better way to review than to sing a little bit, right? Yeah. Let's start with A harmonic minor. So there's our Do, or there's our Do, or I'm not going to try to sing that an octave up, but wherever is comfortable in your voice. Let's do the usual, scale up and down, followed by the arpeggiation. Ready? And. Descending. And the arpeggiation. Okay, and let's do one more key of B minor. So there's our new Do right there. You're ready, and. And the arpeggiation. Okay, let's look specifically at how we're going to use the harmonic minor scale with our harmonic minor, or with our regular minor transcription. So this is our material for harmonic transcription in the minor keys. Let's take note. We're still in the key of A minor, and so this is still going to be Do. Really try to internalize this pitch. Really get it locked into your inner ear. And so of course a 1 chord is going to absolutely be a Do chord because Do is quite literally the root of that chord. Then just like major, the 4 chord will also have Do in it, but of a minor quality. So again, listen to this 1 chord, we're really rooted in that tonic. 6 same quality, but clearly not resting on tonic right there. And this is where it gets really tricky. The sixth chord, of course, will have do in it as well, but this is of a major quality. Let me play it in a couple other octaves so we can hear this. Fa, this, me, da, da. So major quality, but still using that do. So again, our three chords, our three quote-unquote do chords in the minor key will of course be one of the minor quality, also four of that minor quality, the sixth chord having a do but it being a major quality. Okay, and then of course our T chord, the dominant, I can play this and not mess it up because I'm that great. The T chord and our dominant, which we can hear to go to do very well. So just like in the major key, the T is going to represent the 5 chord in this instance. We also have the 2 chord, the re chord here, but note the quality diminished, super tense and shocking. So the re chord is again the 2 chord, but we're listening for something really diminished at origin. We'll have more practice on this on Thursday. But the only other chord we have to think of is, we have the do chord, the T chord, the re chord, and we have one me chord, the 3 chord of major quality. So if you hear that me and it sounds major, it's of course definitely going to be that 3 chord. So again, to reiterate these, we have our 1 chord and a do. A do is also featured in our 4 chord, and then we have our 6 chord of the major quality. Sorry, intonation's going on me, but the 6 chord of the major quality will also contain that do right there, and then we have our 5 chord with that T. Of course, that'll be a holdover from the major bit, and then we have our re chord right there, our 2 of diminished quality, and the only new addition is our me chord, the 3 of the major quality, also known as the relative major. I hope you all knew this. If this sounds treacherous and terrible, in great part because of my voice, don't worry. We will go over this stuff on Thursday, but let's try a few quick exercises using this. Let's try this example in the key of A minor. So we're going to have that same tonic that we just had for the last example. Note that, of course, we are starting with a 1 chord right there. So and there's our 1 chord, really clearly defining tonic right there. And I'm only going to have you transcribe 3 chords after tonic. So go ahead, get this set up, and as usual, I'll give you 3 hearings of this example. Okay, ready? And. 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 So what did we hear? What did we hear? So what did we hear in this example? Pretty clear, pretty straightforward. Hopefully this was audible to y'all. Again, we're thinking in A minor, so that's our do. We started with a 1 chord tonic, moving moving to a 4 chord, still hearing that tonic in there, going on to our dominant chord with a T, which we could hear kind of right in that voicing, and then back to Do. So altogether we've got 1, 4, 5, 1. Everyone's favorite chord progression. Let's take a look at one more. Okay, so key of D minor. Let's get this in our ears. Okay, so a quick progression to hear this. Here's 1, 4, our 5 chord, and then so there's Do. Really lock onto this as your new tonic and defining for the upcoming chords. You know what to do. Pause the video, sketch this out. Okay, you ready? I'll give you 3 hearings of this thing. Okay, ready? And. Okay, ready? And. Okay, ready? And. So what did we hear with this example? Okay. These are the 4 harmonies we're looking at. Again, so we're starting with a 1 chord, no surprises there, and now we move to a really interesting major 6 chord, which we could still hear Do right there. Then we go down to a dominant chord with T very clearly in that inner voice, then returning back to Do. So what was that again? 1 chord, 6 chord, a 5 chord with a T in there, and then back to 1. So this can be a little tricky. This can be a little bit of a kick to the head, but don't worry, we will be looking at more of these examples. We will be doing some practice with this on Thursday. And that's it for today, y'all. So on Thursday, we'll be doing a lot more minor key transcription practice. So if you had some difficulty with this, fear not, we'll be doing quite a bit of this on Thursday. Also on Thursday, we will have a quiz. We will have another quiz, but only on the major key transcription. We'll do a little bit of practice on that perhaps, but there will be a quiz this coming Thursday, the 22nd it will be. So please be in class for that, for the quiz. Yeah. Also, don't forget, homework is due today by 5 p.m. The transcription material up on Blackboard. I've had some people tell me that they're having difficulty with Blackboard with submitting the assignment. So if it is giving you a bit of a runaround, send me an email, or if it's really causing trouble, that's Razzle. If it's really giving you some trouble, you can just email it to me. I prefer Blackboard submission, but if Blackboard's being a jerk, just shoot it to me in an email, however you would submit it. Otherwise, so that's it. I'll see you on Thursday. Minor key transcription practice, quiz. Yeah, that's all I got. Take care of yourselves. If you have any questions, bye.